We are live. What's going on, people? Welcome to the Super Bowl edition of the Betters Edition show. I'm excited to have my man Patrick from Say It Out Loud Sports. Patrick, what's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Just spent the last 45 minutes arguing with the front desk guy here in Vegas.
Man, when you told me that, I was like, "Oh man, I know I would be livid right now. I'd be so hot right now." So I felt your pain, man. I was like, "Man, I hope he's good," because I know that could be stressful for sure.
Yeah, it's all good. We got some time to get some lunch in us, and we don't got nothing going on until later on tonight. So
Nice.
it was all right.
Nice.
Walking around and going through all the prop bets, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So
Yes, yes, and then this is why we're here. And if you probably see me, you're probably wondering, "Hey, man, doesn't that dude talk basketball? And what's he doing talking, betting and football?" But if you know, I love football and I love, talking about betting and all that. So, I decided to hit up Pat and say, "Hey, let's do something for the Super Bowl." So we here, and obviously the Super Bowl is tomorrow. We're here, man. And an underrated aspect is that the fact that we hear the Super Bowl, like, I mean, throughout the season, we were like, I was like, man, I don't know if we can get here. COVID is going to be, rapid. There's so many guys on the team and all that. But the fact that we here at the Super Bowl, no delays. Obviously, some games got pushed back, but no weeks missed. No delays in the Super Bowl. We here. Like, I think that's an underrated, thing that we're not talking about enough as far as the Super Bowl.
yeah, no, 100%. I'm a little surprised, but I did think if any sport could do it, it would be football. I mean, it's the biggest sport. There's only 16 games. They will find a way to make it happen because they see those dollar signs too. So with that, and going back to what you said, if you're going to bet on any football game, this is the one to do it with. 1,200 different prop bets and the hype around it. Everybody's going to be watching it. You got the food, you got the family or friends or whatever. So it's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. There's so many things, and like I said, football was going to be the sport that was going to do it. And they definitely pulled through it, and they definitely have done a hell of a job. I talked about with the guys earlier at See You Sunday. Like, man, you got to give Goodell credit in the NFL and the teams for, following protocols as good as possible and making sure we're here for Super Bowl Sunday. So, we're a day away. And can't wait for the game. But obviously, let's talk about some betting and some prop bets. Obviously prop bets and Super Bowl. That's when you think prop bets, you think of the Super Bowl because there's just so many things to bet on. So obviously, we're here to talk about that. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about the game first. And the Buccaneers are, I think, +3, right? Going into, I know the guys at Jazz Sports who sponsored this episode, have them at +3.5, but I see a lot of +3, Buccaneers +3, Chiefs -3. How are you feeling about that spread? Is it too much, too little, for each team? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's about the number I expected. I don't think they're going to go too far either way. You can get 3.5 depending on a sports book, which I think that's a good number, but a lot of people say, I mean, I could see the Chiefs blowing them out and winning the game. So it's tough. But I mean, as far as a fair spread, I think 3 is about the right number. They want even action on both sides. So, I mean, that's about the best you could do as far as spreads. They're not going to make it any higher than that, especially with Tom Brady being an underdog for the first time in 20 years. So they know people will bet him regardless. So they can't make it too big. And then if he pulls off the upset, then they got bigger problems out here.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You definitely could. I thought at first maybe as my dog's barking, maybe 5. Give the Chiefs 5. I thought maybe that would start, but like you said, Tom Brady, that would probably be a little bit too much to give 5 points, because that'd just be a lot. But
they lost the regular starting. The regular season was only 3, so I mean they kind of That's pretty much that was in Tampa, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was in Tampa, and they won by 3. So why not just make it the same one as the same outcome as the previous game? The total's high, 56.5. Which
56.5 is high. Yeah, then I was gonna go to that too. If you're making a bet, I think it's right now it's 56.5. Points. How do you feeling? You feeling about the over? You feeling the under? What's your gut telling you?
I think it depends on where you fall. If you think the Chiefs are going to win, I'd probably take the over. If you think that, like, I have the Bucks, so I like the Bucks in the under. I have a kind of same score, but flip 27-24 type game.
Yeah, me too.
But the Bucks could win a shootout, but I think if it goes over the total, I would lean more towards the Chiefs. So that's kind of where I'm at.
I think for me, if the Bucks win, I think it's definitely going to be an under, like you said. I think I had earlier. I picked the Bucks to win, like 24-20, so that would be, obviously the under. But if the Chiefs win, and we talked about this before, I could see a scenario where the Chiefs, have a blowout because, we're talking about, a Tampa Bay secondary that's banged up, and is definitely susceptible to giving up the big plays. And listen, it's hard to guard Tyreek Hill. I mean, it doesn't matter who you have, covering him or how good your secondary is. He could still get past you. And then that opens up the middle of the field. But to me, for Tampa Bay, I think, what they're going to try to do is, pound the rock. I think they're just going to pound the rock with Leonard Fournette, try to establish the run and make sure 15 over there on the other side is on the sideline. Same way a lot of people try to do with Brady. Hey, keep him on the sidelines. That's your best weapon. I think that's something that I think Tampa Bay is going to try to do, establish the run, because when they run the ball, I think it's the stat, when they run the ball over 25 times, they're most likely going to win the game. And if they're not even close to that, if you see a game where they're rushing the ball 15 times, around that, it means Tom Brady's throwing the ball a lot, and you don't want him to throw the ball too much, because then that's susceptible to turnovers, and then you give it Pat Mahomes, more opportunity to score with that team. So I think that's something. That's how I could see the game plan for Tampa Bay going. How do you see Tampa Bay doing to their game plan going into this game, to try to slow down the Chiefs?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, the first game they played, they fell in a deep hole, so they had to throw.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to use the same game plan they used against the Saints that one Monday night when they got 38-3. They ran the ball five times total.
Oh, yeah, that was horrible.
So, I mean, after that game, they've been I think Ronald Jones is a little healthier than he was a couple weeks back, so I think he'll be a factor in this game.
He had the quad injury too, right? He had a quad, right? Yeah.
So he should have he played the last game, but he wasn't very effective, I think. Or against Green Bay, he wasn't effective. Fournette's been running hard. I think the play action, they need to start by running the ball a little bit and utilize the play action to get that middle of the field open. But I don't see the Chiefs defense really being too much of a force. So I think if it is a blowout, it would be something like a 44-20 type game where it's still going to go over. Because the Bucks aren't going to – I don't think the Bucks are going to score less than 20 regardless, even if it's a blowout. It could be 56-20 or 44-20 or something like that.
Yeah, because the Chiefs defense they're going to give up points no matter what,
Right. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I know. I just have so many different scenarios in my head how this game could go. I feel like a part of me is I could see the Chiefs, giving it to them because it's playing catchables. It's tough against the Chiefs. But like we said, I've talked about a lot. The Chiefs haven't really blown out teams. They haven't blown out teams the way you think, right? You think the Chiefs, and they went 14-2 this year, and obviously they're in the Super Bowl. You think, oh, they probably got a lot of blowouts on their win total, but they don't. So I don't know why I'm feeling that way, but there's a part of me that could think they could do that, but they haven't done it that much this year, and they've played some pretty bad teams where they had opportunity to do that. So it's going to be interesting. It's so obviously I want to talk about some prop bets, and that's the most fun thing. So give me a couple of prop bets that are really intriguing to you for this game.
So we'll start with my craziest one because we were talking about game plan and how we see the game going, and I kind of said earlier this week, 27-24 type game. So that's not going to be too much offense. I think there's a scenario where a defensive player, I know it's crazy, but say Tom Brady throws 2 picks, throws 1 touchdown, Fournette gets a touchdown, but then a defensive player gets it in the end zone. Or the Chiefs offensive line's banged up. You got both tackles out. You got JPP and Shaq Barrett on the outside. Strip sack fumble, maybe a fumble recovery.
Mm-hmm.
But I put a little bit on Levante David. Because I told
Super Bowl MVP
to win MVP is 100-1.
100-1.
So
okay.
Those linebackers are going to be responsible for Travis Kelce and the middle of that field, and Kansas City likes to attack that the middle of the field. So I think there's I mean, I'm not saying this is likely, and don't go put your obviously 100-1 bet, but I had a vision earlier where they run that RPO. Mahomes pulls it, throws it quickly, and one of those linebackers, Devin White was only 40-1, so I went with the 100-1 guy, Levante David. He's a veteran. He's in his first Super Bowl. You know, I could see maybe a pick six or maybe a pick that could change the game, get some tackles, a sack. So I'm going Levante David to win MVP at 100-1.
And it's crazy. We've seen some like guys who that don't have big names win Super Bowl MVP. I mean, we talk about Tampa Bay, you know, in the Super Bowl 02, I think what's his name? Dexter Jackson won MVP. Yep. He had a pick six that helped him with him. I mean, you could have gave MVP to that whole defense, but Dexter Jackson had the pick six, you know, on Rich Gannon, you know, in that Super Bowl. And
Von Miller won the MVP for the Denver. I know he's a big name, but he won I think he won Carolina.
He won Carolina and Seattle linebacker.
Bobby
what's
Wagner.
His name? Wagner. No, not Bobby Wagner.
The other one.
It's not even the one who's still there too. They got I'm gonna look
Bruce
it up.
Irvin, right?
Not Bruce Irvin. You know, I saw him. I think he played for the Raiders. But he won Super Bowl MVP, and he was kind of, I don't know. I think he had a pick six too. I'm gonna look it up right now because it's gonna bother me because I had the name on my head.
Right.
But he won Super Bowl MVP. So we've seen, and like even we go back to Dallas Dallas Cowboys when they won the Super Bowl. I can't think of the guy. I think his last name is Brown. He won Super Bowl MVP. So we've seen guys that like you wouldn't don't have the name win Super Bowl MVP. You know, and not that Levante David doesn't have the name because obviously he's one of the best linebackers in football. You know, he's someone that's finally getting his praise this year, you know, which has been well deserved because he's been a baller for the last, you know, Malcolm Smith. There you go. Malcolm Smith won Super Bowl MVP, you know. And so we've seen stuff like this where guys come out of nowhere and win Super Bowl MVP. So, you know, that your pick, hey, that's not a bad pick at all, you know, so can't go wrong with that, you know.
Yeah, so you got that one. Some of the other ones, obviously, these ones are kind of just flip the coin, literally.
I was just going to ask you about that. Are you one of those guys that pick the coin toss?
Just a little bit. That they're minus 105, both of them. So I just picked. I had my son pick. He picked head, so I put a little cash on that. I tried. This is weird. So I tried to bet the national anthem over, but the line was off the board.
Yeah, because I didn't see it either. You know,
I saw a video on the way here, and somebody was outside of the – I don't know if this is true or not. I barely saw it. I didn't read anything on it. Somebody was outside Tampa Bay Stadium timing it and listening. I don't know if they sing it prior or practice or what, but he was and I couldn't hear because I was driving, but there was it went to 2 minutes and 16 seconds. This guy was posting it everywhere. So when I got here, I tried to bet the over because that was my gut anyway, was the over. And the line was off the board. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I'm sure I'll read about that tomorrow. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I did get the coin toss. And then
coin toss is another wild one. What the anthem is another one. The halftime show. I don't know if that's up.
That's on there.
They didn't have the halftime show because I know that's another one where people, you know, that's another popular thing that people like to bet on is the halftime show and how long it goes and trying to like time other halftime shows and then actually like because the Weeknd's performing, right? So they try to like time like, all right, he's probably gonna do his top hits and like try to combine and see like, all right, like how much time is that worth? And it's, you know, how much time did he usually get for halftime shows and try to find a formula. It's crazy what people try to do to try to figure out stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, all the online markets have like what color Gatorade, what, you know, the halftime show, what he's going to wear, what song he's singing first. So my next one in the game, I try to do them like throughout the game so I have something to root for the whole game. So my biggest one actually is the opening kickoff to be a touchback. So I heard this from Pat McAfee. I was watching his show. And he's kicked off in the Super Bowl. So the ball is not it's a brand new ball. So it's really hard. It's not ready to kick. And they kick it off. It's hard to kick, first of all, because it's a brand new ball. Then you're in the Super Bowl. So you're kind of, you know, that's a new, maybe the blood's pumping, whatever. But right when you go to kick it, there's a bunch of flashes in your face, like all the pictures. I mean, there's not going to be all the fans there.
Yeah,
but
it's not going to be as many flashes.
And then he said it's hard ball. They take the ball as soon as they return it or whatever. They take it out, and that ball goes to the Hall of Fame. So they want that ball as clean as possible. That's why
You're right.
So 6 out of the last 7 Super Bowls, it was not a touchback. So 6 out of the last 7, it's returned. The odds are really skewed towards the yes on the touchback, and that's because the Bucks and the Chiefs have the second and fourth highest percentage of their kickoffs going in the end zone.
Yeah, because you got Butker
and Pinion.
And they're both pretty. They have good legs. So
there was 157 out of 190 kickoffs between the two have been touchbacks for the year. But with the weather situation out there, I heard it's a little wet.
It's supposed to rain out there. Yeah.
So with that situation, everything like that, the no on it is plus 220. So you're getting almost, a little over 2 to 1 on your money. So that was my biggest one. I threw $100 on that. So so I'll be glued into the opening kickoff, and hopefully, maybe he slips, kicks it at maybe a trick onside kick, or Jaden Mickens is feeling good and decides to bring it out.
Okay, that's a good one. I wanted to ask you this one. Obviously, I've seen looking at the odds for a player to score the first touchdown. I don't know if you've seen that one. You got Kelsey as right. What I'm looking at on Jazz Sportsbook, Travis Kelsey's plus 400, Tyreek Hill's plus 400, Godwin is plus 750, Fournette plus 650, Evans 600. Darrell Williams is plus 1200, AB is 1200, Ronald Jones 1400. Any of those, you're feeling? Which one would you take if you haven't already?
Those ones are tough because they're so,
Sammy Watkins plus 2,000. Scotty Miller plus 2,200.
I like these long shots because these ones are hard. They're unpredictable. What's Cameron Brate you got?
I was just about to say plus 2,000.
That's what I'm rolling with. I bet on him to score a touchdown in the game. It could be any time, and that was plus 280. But first touchdown, I go Cameron Brate. He likes to target him in the end zone. He caught a touchdown against Green Bay from about the 10 on a play action. So I'd go Cameron Brate. And if you want to choose one from both sides, like Kelsey is obviously like the safe bet. But I would probably go like maybe Mahomes sneaks out and gets a little, 5-yard sneak. He always gets those rollouts, and if they're playing coverage, I mean, he's always using his legs. I'd go. I'd probably go the tight ends. I'd go Brate and Kelsey if I was going to.
Yeah. I would say if I'm Tampa Bay, I would go with the tight ends. I would go Brate. I would go crazy with that plus 2,000.
Yeah.
But I was thinking if Kansas City scores first, I could see some bubble screen with McCall Hardman where he takes it 30 yards or something like that. They seem to like to do that a lot. So I would take McCall Hardman. He's plus 1,500. So I think I would go a little crazy and go with that too if I had to pick from both sides. Even Scotty, Scott. I don't know. I don't know.
AB's back.
Yeah.
AB being back.
Yeah, I don't know if AB's gonna have what his situation is. I'm sure he'll play. I don't know how much he'll play, but I think it's gonna be someone that we're not expecting. I know a lot of people are probably gonna pick Kelsey and Tyreek Hill and Evans, Godwin, but it might be like Darrell Williams, something like that. I could definitely see something like that, happening for sure. Is there anything, any other like crazy prop bets that you like, like for this game?
All right, so I found I'm doing this one's not that crazy. I did the Chiefs to receive the opening kickoff. I didn't know the Bucks had received the whole playoffs before I made the bet. Then I did it backwards. I made the bet, and then I did some research after. But I figured the Chiefs, if they win the toss, they would want the ball first because they're aggressive. They want the ball, jump onto a lead. And I figured I was going back to Brady in the Patriot days deferring. So I was figuring either way, the Chiefs are going to get the ball. Like I figured the Bucks want their strongest unit on the field. I mean, it's tough to say their defense is the strongest unit, but they're playing really well. So if they can start off and get a stop against Kansas City and then get the ball the second half. So I took Chiefs. And then this one's kind of weird. So a team to use all 6 timeouts in regulation. Did you see this one?
No, I didn't. I did not see that one.
So the yes was plus 250.
To use all 6.
Okay. So they have to use all 3 in the first half to be eligible to, somebody's got to use them all. And that includes coaches' challenges. So, I mean, I thought it was interesting odds because, I mean, you figure both these teams have the offenses, at the end of the first half, if someone has the ball and they want to force a punt, they're going to try to use timeouts and get a stop and get the ball back. So I'm just hoping at least one of the teams uses all three. Ideal, obviously, both teams use all three in the first half. But I thought that was interesting. Plus 250 on that.
Okay, I didn't even see that one. All right, so I got one here that's kind of very interesting. And I was just looking over this one. I was like, okay, this might be someone that a bet I might like to look into. And it's player to score the last touchdown in the game. So it got Kelsey plus 500, Hill 500, the usuals, at that level. Godwin 800. Is there anyone? Let's see. I'll give you. You got Lev Bell's at 2,200. Tom Brady at 2, which I like that one because Brady's good for a good old QB sneak at the 1 yard line late in the game. I mean, that would not shock me at all. So to me, that's the one where I was like, okay, I like that one a lot. So is there anyone that any one of those guys that you would like for a for a last second touchdown to win the game or something?
That's the interesting thing because basically, I mean, that's weird that the odds are different. Because the odds to score a touchdown should be the same for like the last first, second, third, fourth, whatever it is. So yeah. I'm glad I didn't take any first touchdowns because I'll just bet the last touchdown. I would say I like the Brady take because maybe a late pass interference and he just goes in from the 1. I think he scored 1 yard touchdown in 5 of his 9 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
So I mean the odds are there saying he's going to score from 1 yard.
I guess that's what I'm saying. Like he had so many situations where he's at the 1 yard line. With an opportunity to score. So I could definitely see something like that, so I like those odds,
I would say Gronk's probably not bad.
Gronk at the 1, a little play action, throw it up to him, I could see that. Or even like a Byron Pringle, like he scored last week, like something, random like that. Like I could see something crazy, like that. How Patrick Mahomes just throws this quick stuff, something like that, so I was looking at that and I even I like that a lot. Okay, so I just had this Super Bowl MVP odds, and I don't know if you have them in front of you, Super Bowl MVP odds, but what's a Super Bowl MVP that's not the obvious guys that give me a wild card Super Bowl MVP and the odds that you like?
It's weird because I think if the offensive player wins, it's got to be Mahomes or Brady. So it's tough to give, I could see Kelsey winning it if he had one of his 13 catches for, 150. Like last week, I think he had 13 for 178 and 2 touchdowns, but someone's got to throw him the ball. So it's that out. But I mentioned Levante David. The 2 ends for the Tampa Bay is not a bad bet. Shaq Barrett and JPP. Tyrann Mathieu sitting at 35 to 1, I think. And I think defensively that's not bad. Chris Jones 125. Those basically anybody outside of Mahomes and Brady, you're getting pretty good odds on. You know what I mean? Because Brady's 2 to 1. Mahomes is minus 110. There's no chance I'd be betting Mahomes. You have to pay some juice to get an MVP. That's pretty crazy to me, but.
I'm trying to. I just had to pull.
And then here's another one I tried to bet today.
Yeah, sure. Send me some while I'll try to get my thing up. Because I just had it up. The odds.
Dude, this sheet there's 7 pages. So it was LaMelo. So it's LaMelo Ball. Total points tomorrow. He plays the Wizards. So he plays the Wizards. Or which one's greater, LaMelo Ball points or total kickoffs in the game? So the over-under for kickoffs is 12.5. I tried to hammer that, but by the time I got here, it was off the board. And you were getting plus 105 on LaMelo Ball.
Wow.
I was losing my mind because the last 5 games since Rozier's went out, he's had 34, 27.
Yeah, he's gone
22, 16, and 14. So his lowest total in the last 5 was 14. And I don't think there's going to be 14 kickoffs. I imagine even if it's a high-scoring game, you're looking at 13, 14 at the most.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, yeah, I would definitely. Melo's definitely.
I might try to go bet that again. Maybe they put it back up or something. But I saw that when I was eating lunch, and I'm like, I got to get to Sportsbook ASAP, see if I can get this in.
Wow, that's a good one. I didn't even see that one. Yeah, that's a crazy one. What other ones they got? I mean, you're in Vegas right now, so I'm sure they got every type of bet possible. So what you got?
All right, LeBron James, total points, rebounds, and assists versus the Pistons tonight.
Okay, total rebounds, points, assists. Okay.
And the other side is Patrick Mahomes' pass attempts. So LeBron's a lock, right? You would imagine that's 50.
So let's say his average. Just go by his average. So let's say 25, 8 and 8, 16, 40. That's over 40.
41,
so 41, yeah. Pass attempt. Wow. And that's just based off his average.
Yeah.
I
so
could
if he
see,
has one of his games,
honestly, I think if we're gonna go based off averages for LeBron, 25, 8 and 8.
He's playing the Pistons. But they might blow him out.
They might. That's what I'm saying. Like it can. When you're playing, a team like that, they might rest LeBron the fourth, and where he could obviously get more stats. But Mahomes, I mean, it's not like the run game is anything right now. Le'Veon Bell isn't doing anything, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire is banged up. I don't even know if he's playing, but I think just based off LeBron's averages, I think Mahomes is going to throw it 40, 42 plus times.
Yeah, he threw it 49 last time they played.
49. What did he throw it against Buffalo?
They 30 in the 30s, 34, I think. Or no, I think he was even less than that because they took care of him pretty.
Yeah, they had that game in the bag pretty early.
I think it was 21 for 27 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I mean, if it's a blowout, it kind of be tough, but I don't see that. Well, okay, here's one right here. This one, I should go bet this right now. Steph Curry points tonight against the Mavericks.
Oh, yeah, take that.
Or Buccaneers points. Like, Steph can go put up 50 right now.
Yeah. Tonight. I mean, they just played Dallas, and I know Oubre had 40.
Curry only had in the 20s somewhere.
He had the 20s, right? But they let Oubre go off.
Yeah, so Curry.
I don't think they'll let Oubre go off again.
Yeah.
So that means Steph can go off.
Yeah, if he goes out and puts up 45 tonight, then Bucks. I don't think the Bucks are putting up 45. I mean, they could, but
even if he puts up 35.
Yeah, I'd be pretty comfortable if Curry put up 45 tonight going into tomorrow.
Yeah. Even 35, 36, I think, that's even comfortable.
Yeah.
Even that's a nice number. So, yeah, I think so because I don't think Dallas's defense has been pretty bad this year. And like you said, they just played Golden State and they gave up a whole bunch of points. I mean, I think they gave like $130 plus to and let Oubre get 40, shoot 8 threes. So, and like I said, Steph didn't go crazy, but he didn't have to do much because they had the game in the bag too. But he could be due, and they're not gonna let Oubre get 40. So I could see Steph definitely getting 35 plus.
They game at 7. That game's at. I'm gonna go bet that before I leave the casino tonight.
Yeah, I think I
take
that
7.
One.
He's minus 1.5 on that, so that's 2-point swing. So if the Bucks put up 34 and Steph scores 35, you lose. He has to outscore him by 2.
Oh,
still,
okay.
That's still money.
Yeah. No, I like those odds. Yeah. I definitely
there's all sorts of stuff, man. There's here we go. Let's see what else we got on here. There's like soccer goals and stuff. I ain't messing with that.
Yeah.
Looking those up.
I got one for you right here.
All right, what do we got?
That I was thinking of, that I just remembered that I saw that I just pulled up. 2 touchdowns. Players that score 2 or more touchdowns. Obviously, Kelsey is plus 300. He's probably Tyreek's plus 275.
I'll tell you what I want. Give me Leonard Fournette.
Leonard Fournette is plus 600.
Okay, like a little rushing and receiving.
Yeah,
one from rushing yard from the 3, and then a little like swing pass.
That's my dark horse Super Bowl MVP too. Fournette.
He could be a workhorse.
If they establish the run, I think he will be a big part. He had a good week. Last week, 2 weeks ago against Green Bay. I think they'll try to establish the run and get him going. Both running backs. I think this could be a game where they could just try to pound. Like I said, you can't let Mahomes on the field, man. The more you can't let Mahomes on the field. So
all right, here's one for you.
Yeah, shoot.
This one's funny because if you Tom Brady rushing yards, a half. He has to get 1 yard.
1 yard.
I mean, if he gets on those 3rd and 1s and 4th and 1s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The only problem is that if they win, then at the end, is he taking a knee? He takes a knee at the end and you lose it.
Man, that's a stat that I hate. You know how many people have lost bets? I'm sure. I'm
Yeah.
sure you heard horror stories about that. But how many
Big one.
people have lost bets because the quarterback took a kneel and they had, it was
Well,
50 yards, well, whatever. Let's just say it was 50 yards and they took the kneel. It's 2 yard loss. I'm sure there's horror stories about that.
Oh, I know fantasy wise, there's millions of those where like you're up by 1.9 and someone fumbles at the end and you lose by 0.1 or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. Oh, fantasy football, especially when you're playing in like fractional points.
Yep.
And all that, like people have lost the championships because of that, or people they don't score the worst. That's the worst. When how many times you've seen that? Remember the Brian Westbrook when he was on the Eagles?
Yeah, fell down.
They were going to score, and he fell down at the one. I mean, it's happened a bunch after that. I can't remember who exactly did it, but we see that a lot. I'm sure that gets. Who's an underrated guy you could think that can pull off a 2-touchdown game?
Oh, let me think.
I'll give you some high end. I say Brates at 4,000 plus 4,000. Demarcus Robinson plus 5. Tyler Johnson plus 5,000. Scotty Miller plus 3,000. Ronald Jones 1,500. Tom Brady. Maybe some two rushing. Some rushing touchdowns. He's at plus 3,500.
If it was 100, I'm going to bet that.
Yeah.
35. I was thinking Ronald Jones, but 15's not. I was going to say both running backs, but maybe like AB. What's AB at?
AB, where is he at? He's down here. Where is he? Antonio Brown, 1,400 plus 1,400.
That's not bad. It seems like I'm leaning towards the Bucks. Let me think of some Chiefs. I found another.
I can see Darrell Williams.
I was going to say Darrell Williams.
I think he's going to get used the most out of the running backs because Le'Veon Bell's. I don't know his status. And
he's useless.
And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is banged up. So I could see a lot of, in the run and pass game for Darrell Williams. It seems like Patrick Mahomes went a lot to him in these playoffs.
Yeah, I would say that one's. I would say that that's a good bet.
Yeah, an underrated Chiefs one for sure.
Here we go. Rushing attempts for McCole Hardman. A half. And you're getting plus 160 on the yes. So if he gets one carry, you're getting 1.5 to 1 on your money.
Didn't he have one against the Bills on like an end around? I could have sworn he had like an end around.
I don't think that.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, he had the reverse. He went 50. He went for 50 something.
Okay. Oh, I mean, how they, Andy Reid and that's definitely something I might. That's definitely an interesting one because they always like to do those little end arounds and all that. I'm looking at these other bets, man. This is so many general. See, look at the general prop bets. Okay, I'm seeing anyone else. Oh, and we lost Patrick, but that hotel Wi-Fi. But I'm trying to find a good general bet, and we got Pat back.
Yeah, it's cutting out.
Go. We'll head out soon. But I'm trying to find a good general bet. One that stands out.
All right. Yeah, my man.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a good one here. Longest punt. All right, longest punt return in the game. By you got the Chiefs minus 165 and the Buccaneers plus 115.
What was it? Chiefs are what? Minus what?
Minus 165.
I wouldn't pay the juice on a punt return. Jaden Mickens is pretty good. Like if he gets a chance, he could bust one. Chiefs. I mean yeah, it's tough. On those ones, I don't like paying juice because that's why I'm always looking for the plus monies because these are hit or miss.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna pay juice on a punt return. If Mickens breaks one, then Hardman's dangerous. But I would say pay if you have to bet that one. I'd say bet the Bucks.
Would you put anything on the game going into overtime? Obviously, we only
There's
had
only
one
been
overtime
one, right?
game.
In
There's only
Super
been
Bowl,
one.
there's
That
only
was
been
that
one.
was that was Pat's Falcons a few
Yeah.
years back. That was the only
Yeah,
Super Bowl game.
Yeah.
And
I'd
if you
probably say
if you bet yes, that's plus 525.
yeah, I probably
If you
won't
want to
touch
get
that.
crazy, yeah.
I could find some better plus 525s. I feel like.
Yeah, but like I said, there's just so many.
It's fun. Try throw $20 on it, make 100. I guess it's
Yeah.
that's why I put. I don't know how many prop bets I put in. Probably 15.
How many? Probably, oh, okay, 15. Okay.
So most of them are like 15, $20, and then I got the one. I got one for 100 and one for 50, and those were the opening kickoff, and then the 51 was I don't know what I put that one on. I think it was the Chiefs to receive the. Was that one? No, that one's. I didn't realize the odds are swinging. I didn't realize it. It's the other 51.
I got it. I got one more good one for total sacks in the game.
Over,
right?
Four,
Simply
right?
because it's see, total sacks in the game. The over is 3.5.
Oh, that's a lock. Lock that one in.
Yeah.
Taking the
Simply
over.
because the Chiefs don't have a left tackle.
Or a right tackle.
Or a right tackle.
So both. I think I see each team getting two. Brady will get sacked once or twice, where he just falls down, so he doesn't get hit.
Yeah, because he doesn't like getting hit.
He just eats it. He'll have two of those for sure. And then I think the Bucks had 5 last week against Rodgers.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago. So, them alone are going to be.
And they didn't have, I can't say his name, but they lost their left tackle, tackle.
Yeah.
So you saw what they can do with Shaq Barrett and JPP coming off the edge and just rushing for, And
so I'll take the over.
Yeah, I take the over at that. That was one thing I looked at because the Chiefs, tackle situation. And it sucks that they lost Eric Fisher like pretty much towards the end of the game where they kind of had it, in the bag, So, all right, so I have the Super Bowl MVP. So we'll finish off with this one. A dark horse MVP you said before was
David. That's what I got. Vontae David 100-1 or either end. I'd take Barrett and JPP. I think both of them are 75-1 if I remember it, unless it changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Levante David's getting a pick six. I talked about earlier this week. Levante David pick six on RPO over the middle, third or fourth quarter, second half. He wins MVP. Bucks win. I put it all on black, and then I buy a new car.
Can't go wrong. Yeah, I like Leonard Fournette at plus 2,500. That's something that I'm rolling with. I'm gonna go with that because, like I said, I think they're gonna run the ball a lot. But I like the JPP odds too. Like please plus 5,000. He always plays big I know it's been a while since he's been to the Super Bowl, but he's played big even this year and in that Super Bowl against the Patriots. He knows Tom Brady a lot. He knows how to get some. He's a Pro Bowler this year. He's played great, even though he's been through a lot too. With the hands and all that. He's definitely doing a lot. But so this is huge for him. So I could see him having a big game, taking advantage of the tackle situation. But man, Pat, this was fun, bro. Super Bowl's here. So before we sign off, who's winning the Super Bowl tomorrow?
Tampa Bay. 27-24. Bucks by 3.
Bucks by 3. Man, I got 24-20. I think the Bucks cover.
I'll take that too.
I'll take the cover. They not only win, they cover. And like I said, I have since they're winning, I'm gonna have Leonard Fournette as Super Bowl MVP. I know everyone's probably like, "What? What are you saying, bro? You Tom Brady?" You know what? I'm gonna go a little crazy, and I'm gonna go with Leonard Fournette wins the Super Bowl MVP. So
works for me. What? How many? I didn't get a chance to catch Steve Sunday. How many people got the Bucks in the network?
I think it was pretty split.
Okay,
it
wasn't like last week 10-2.
No. It was pretty. It was pretty split from. So everyone's just it's gonna be a good one. That's all I know. It should be a good one. Storyline's great and all that. But yeah, man. Like I said, thanks for coming on, bro. And chopping up, talking some Super Bowl bets and Super Bowl. And I know you're out in Vegas. I hope you have a good time out there. Be safe out there. So before we sign off, where can people find you and all that good stuff?
Oh, well, you can find me on the offtheballnetwork.com filling out some MMA articles. We got the fight. Actually, those fights, the article I wrote on the fights is starting soon. So we got Clay Guida and Overeem, if you haven't caught that. I did mess up I made a bet on it, and I put Guida and Overeem, and I got back to my chair, and the teller messed up my ticket, so I just left it. So I got Guida and Volkov. Instead, I still think Overeem's winning, but every time the teller messes up my ticket, I usually win somehow. So we're just gonna roll with it.
Nice.
But
nice.
yeah,
do you think it's a wrap if Overeem loses his career? Think he calls it quits?
If he loses, yeah.
Think so?
Yeah, because then he's never getting a title shot.
Yes. Yeah.
I think he's got to win this, and then he's been rolling. So he's been 4-1 in his last 5. So if he gets a win, he's up there. So yeah, Off the Ball Network, Say It Out Loud Sports on Twitter and Instagram, and then other than that, the generic Apple, Podbean, Spotify, all that stuff.
Awesome. And I'm happy you mentioned that, because if you head on over to Jazz Sportsbook, you can win a free play for the Super Bowl tomorrow. So all you got to do is use the code OTB150, get 150% off a free play, and get some cool choices over there. So use my promo code, and like I said, free bonus bet on the Super Bowl, and a bunch of stuff over there. So go on over to Jazz Sportsbook and try to win some money. Use my promo code, just win some money. All right. And like I said, follow me, OTB_network, offtheballnetwork.com for all your sports needs, all that, Off the Ball Pod, all that good stuff. Shout out to Fanatics, one of our newest sponsors, Monkey Knife Fight. Go check out, use promo code Off the Ball, to go to Monkey Knife Fight and check out all the cool bets they have there, prop bets and all that. So on that note, guys, be safe. Everyone be safe. Pat, you be safe out there. Be kind to each other. Peace out. Off the Ball Network. We're out.